Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. 3 Minnesota emergency responders have lost their lives in the line of duty. What happened on the call that led to their demise? And a major break in the case of a missing 11-year-old girl from Livingston. Authorities say they have a person of interest in custody this morning. We'll tell you what leads investigators have so far as they continue to search for Audrey Cunningham. Continuing coverage across the nation, convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh's estate has sold yet again. How much the estate sold for and the new buyer's plan for the property coming up on Sunrise.
And we've got some nice, beautiful, warm, spring-like weather coming our way this week. We'll take a look at that, the weather coming up.
Another week of girls basketball. I'll have the matchup for the regional quarterfinals coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Karina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 19th day of February 2024. The time is now 6:31 on our Monday morning and it's President's Day.
It's President's Day.
Do you have a favorite president?
Oh, goodness gracious. There's so many presidents. I might actually say Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
Because it reminds me of my girlfriend. He also had a cool economic policy.
Ah.
He had a very interesting. Do you have one?
I love Barack Obama. He's
Obama?
my favorite president
He was
for sure.
He was definitely a popular president.
I didn't mind Bill Clinton either.
Interesting. There's lots of presidents out there.
There's definitely a lot out there and a lot to be proud of. Parker, how's it looking out there? I hear we have a beautiful sunrise.
Oh, we do have a beautiful sunrise. In fact, you're looking at it. Looking at a live look at eastern Victoria where that sun's coming up, bringing us a nice pink, purple, blue, every color, every which color you can think of, and a nice and pretty sunrise. And with that pretty sunrise, it is going to be a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Starting out about a little chilly though, right now about 38 degrees here in the Crossroads, but with your dew point just 2 degrees off, a little bit humid as well, about 93%, but it's not enough to create fog because you get that at 95% or higher. But look at the humidities everywhere else. Not any of us are expecting any fog out there this morning. For y'all say 100%, but I'm telling you right now that's not right. Probably around maybe the mid 80s as well. But coming our way tonight, we might see some fog developing after midnight tonight. Look at your weather headlines here. Like I said, patchy fog developing overnight, but then spring-like weather coming our way this week with some breezy days as well. But looking at your visibility, like I said tonight, maybe after 10 p.m. and after midnight, that fog's going to start forming. Could be a little bit thick in some areas out there tomorrow morning, but it'll lift by around 9 to 10 tomorrow morning. But looking at your temperatures right now, all of us in the 30s, like I said, but then warming up to the upper 60s today, and tomorrow we'll be in the 70s officially. And all that is to thank because we've got southerly wind returning back to our area, bringing all that warm and humid air off the Gulf back on top of us, and that's going to stick around for the rest of this week, which is going to keep us warming up into the 80s by Thursday, cooling down a little bit with a weak cool front, but then warming back to the 80s next week. And I'll take a look at all that more in just a few more moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A Minnesota community is grieving this morning after 3 emergency responders were killed in the line of duty. 2 law enforcement officers and another first responder were shot and killed early Sunday morning in Burnsville. Authorities say they were responding to a domestic abuse situation involving a man who was barricaded in a house with family members, including 7 children. The officers are identified as Paul Elmstrand and Matthew Rugg, along with firefighter Adam Finseth. A 4th police officer was hurt and taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. It's still unclear what led up to the shooting, but authorities say the suspect is dead and family members left the home safely. The search for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham continues this morning. Cunningham disappeared last Thursday near her home in Livingston. Authorities say they issued an Amber Alert after she didn't make it onto her school bus that morning, but investigators have made a major break in the case. They say they have a person of interest in custody. They're only identifying the suspect as a 42-year-old man, but say he's, quote, one of the persons of interest involved in the disappearance. Investigators believe the suspect's dark blue 2003 Chevrolet Suburban is also involved. Authorities arrested the man in Polk County Friday on an unrelated charge of aggravated assault, but Cunningham remains missing this morning. Investigators reported finding a small child's backpack near the Lake Livingston Dam, but have not provided any other information about the bag. Take a look at this footage. This footage captured a crime in progress at what looks like a home in Bowling. Now authorities need your help in tracking the suspects down. Authorities believe the suspects got away in a black car, but they cannot provide a make or model. If you can identify the men in this video, look at them breaking into that house. If you have any information on the case, Sergeant David Rangel at the Wharton County Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you. The South Carolina hunting estate belonging to convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh has sold again. The Moselle home with more than 5,000 square feet and 21 acres in Colleton County sold for $1 million. It was up for auction by J.P. King Auction Company and Crosby Land Company. The identity of the out-of-state buyer was not disclosed, but reportedly plans to develop it as a horse farm. The property became a crime scene when Murdaugh's wife and son, Maggie and Paul, were shot and killed there in 2021. Murdaugh was convicted of their murders and is serving a life sentence. The latest Lundberg report says the national average of price has risen in the past 2 weeks. Prices at the gas pump increased by 12.6 cents per gallon to a price of nearly $3.37 for regular grade. Diesel grade has risen over the past 2 weeks as well, climbing to $4.21. The report says oil prices surged during the period, which caused product prices to rise. The report also found that further price hikes can be expected since product prices have not yet matched oil surge. Some businesses and schools around the country are closed today to honor President's Day. The federal holiday is celebrated on the third Monday of every February, and while it began as a way to honor George Washington's birthday, it now honors all 46 past and current presidents. In 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Uniform Holiday Bill mandating that President's Day, Memorial Day, and Labor Day happen on a Monday to prevent a midweek shutdown and create a long weekend. Businesses took advantage and started offering annual President's Day sales. I need to take a look at those sales. All right, and that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, are you off today for President's Day? You may not be. Okay, let's take a look. 16% of you, it went to 17 just now, but now 16% of you say yes, you are off today. I hope you enjoy your day off. Maybe you get to walk some stores, see those sales. And 84% of you say no, you are not off today. All right, neither am I. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Monday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A fight ended in gunfire at a Waffle House this morning, killing one person. We have the story. Plus, former President Donald Trump, as he continues for his campaign for the White House, is being criticized for remaining silent on the death of Russian lawyer Alexei Navalny.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast. And later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at that nice weather that's coming our way this week. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, looking at a live look at Cuero, where that sun is coming up in the sky. Look at that nice, pretty sky. Nice sunny sky, I should say, because not a cloud in the sky, making us gonna have a very fantastic day today. But starting out a little bit chilly. Right now, about 37 degrees up there at Cuero, with the dew point just 5 degrees off. A little bit humid, not too much so, only an 83% humidity. But if you're sitting your kiddos out the door this morning, you definitely want to pack up a jacket, because they're going to have the chill. It's very chilly. I had the chills coming into work. About 37 as they're heading out the door. Very cold and clear out there. And this clear sky is going to warm us up nicely for the rest of the week, getting up to about 67 today. And with that nice weather today, a little bit of pollen out there, just the tree pollen, because we had some windy conditions this last weekend. But tree pollen's moderate today, and your UV index is a pretty normal, casual high. That's usually what happens with the sunny day. But the rest of this week, like I said, that southerly wind returning 2 days, which is going to warm us up for the rest of this week, getting to the 80s by Thursday. And we'll take a look at that and more in just a few moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A new week of basketball, and for the girls, it's regional quarters week. Zach Brown has the matchups.
New week, that means a brand new week of basketball season. Now for the girls, we're going to the regional quarterfinals round. The Victoria East girls just got revenge on Veterans Memorial Brownsville. Now they get Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. Now this was over 2 months ago, but the Lady Titans beat this team 54-36 back on December 5th. The Lady Titans looking to go 4 rounds deep in this postseason. The Cuero girls will take on Fredericksburg after their dominant win over the Bay City Black Cats. One common opponent the Cuero girls have with Fredericksburg are the Navarro Panthers. Cuero beat them a few days ago, 45-27. Fredericksburg beat Navarro on January 16th in a 49-36 victory. Now, we could have an evenly matched battle on our hands if those scores are to indicate anything. The Hallettsville ladies still in the tournament. They get the always tough Cole Cougars. Cole actually played Tidehaven and won that game 52-40. When Hallettsville played Tidehaven, they won 75-45. Obviously, this doesn't mean Hallettsville will win, but once again, it could mean that they are evenly matched. And for the Shiner ladies, they get the Thrall Tigers. Thrall just took it to the Bloomington girls, who had a great year. Shiner, they could have their work cut out for them, but they could also continue to dominate, going for win number 25 in a row. With your 25 sports now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Former President Trump slammed by his Republican presidential rival Nikki Haley for remaining largely silent on the death of Alexei Navalny, Russia's leading opposition figure. As the Biden administration points its right finger at Vladimir Putin for Navalny's abrupt death, Trump has only posted on social media comparing himself to the late anti-corruption activist.
Former President Trump still staying silent on the death of Vladimir Putin's fiercest critic, Alexei Navalny, despite making multiple appearances since Russia claimed Friday Navalny felt unwell and collapsed in a Russian prison.
If we win Michigan, we win the whole ball game. We win everything.
The former president has only posted on social media comparing himself to Navalny, claiming without evidence that the U.S. justice system has been weaponized against him. Trump's remaining challenger on the Republican presidential primary, Nikki Haley, criticizing him for neglecting to directly weigh in on Navalny's death.
Either he sides with Putin and thinks it's cool that Putin killed one of his political opponents, or he just doesn't think it's that big of a deal.
This coming days after Trump also set off alarms, saying he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who failed to meet agreed-upon defense spending goals.
We need to remind the American people that Vladimir Putin is not our friend.
Russian prison officials claim Navalny, who is serving a 19-year jail term for offenses widely considered politically motivated, died from, quote, sudden death syndrome. But Navalny's team insists he was murdered. They say his mother was told that her son's body would not be released until investigations were complete.
So right now we don't have access to the body and we don't know for sure where it is.
Russian police have been cracking down, arresting hundreds of people across Russia for trying to pay their respects to Navalny. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Navalny's death, along with the fall of a key city in eastern Ukraine this weekend, have added urgency to the debate of passing more aid for Ukraine's war against Russia. But House Republicans have insisted no more foreign aid until more border security has passed. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
The time is now 6:45 on our Monday morning. Still to come, residents in California gearing up for more severe weather. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Sally. We love you so much. Hope you have an amazing day and many more to come.
And a big, big happy birthday to my mama. Her name is Michelle. Mom, I can say without doubt you are the best mom in the world. And I'm praying that being the best mom in the world means you have the best birthday week ever. I love you more than you know, Mom. From the oldest and coolest kid, that's me, Parker.
And now to celebrity birthdays. The British actress of the sci-fi series Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, is 20 today. Happy birthday.
I love that show. And a happy anniversary to Wesley. Happy anniversary of 13 years. I love that photo of them. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More under Home ECKVU to submit your birthday.
And the time is now 6:46 on our Monday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Yes, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. That cold front that came through on Saturday morning brought us some chilly temperatures over the week. We got to like 50 or so on Saturday and 57 yesterday, but we've got some fantastic weather coming our way that leads us to today's weather poll. Today's weather poll asks, does the forecast this week excite you? Let's take a look at what y'all saying. Looks like it's changed. About 40% of y'all say yes, it does. That's actually lower than half. And 60% of y'all say no, it doesn't. Maybe y'all like that cold weather, that kind of cool winter weather we had, because it is still winter that we had this weekend. But to vote on today's weather poll and future weather polls, go to crossroadstoday.com/voteweather to participate and see what everybody else says as well. Now, like I said yesterday, got up to 57, started at about 36 in the morning, and that was actually at about, that's actually just a little after midnight, but I thought that said noontime. But about the same thing out here this morning, all of us in the mid and upper 30s, along the coast, y'all in the 40s. Very, very chilly. Might want to grab a jacket if you're heading out the door. I mean, I would recommend it because it's going to be very chilly. I had the chills coming into work this morning. But today, getting up to about 67. And if you don't like that cold weather we had this last weekend, we're going to warm up every day this week, getting up to about 75 tomorrow and the upper 70s by Wednesday and the 80s by Thursday. And all of that is thanks to the southerly wind returning today, coming out of the Gulf, bringing all that warm and humid air on top of us for the rest of this week. Like I said, every day we're going to have that southerly wind until we get a weak cool front. Going to drop us a couple degrees, but then we're warming right back up to the 80s next week. And we'll take a look at all that and more in just a few more moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Hundreds of union workers are on strike against one of the largest brewing companies in the country. About 400 Teamster workers hit the picket line Saturday after negotiators could not work out a new contract with Molson Coors Brewery in Fort Worth. The workers continued to strike on Sunday. The union says it's trying to negotiate a new 3-year contract. It's seeking higher pay and better health and retirement benefits. Teamsters President Sean O'Brien said Molson Coors had record earnings last year, and its workers are fighting to get what they have earned. The company says while it respects the right of the union to strike, it has contingency plans in place, and it is not expected that the strike will impact customers. It also says that they're trying to work out a fair and equitable agreement with the union. The Biden administration may relax its strict vehicle emissions rule it proposed last year. Sources say the proposed rule change from the Environmental Protection Agency would delay implementing strict emission standards until after 2023. President Biden has made lowering emissions and switching to EVs a major part of his climate agenda. The EPA rule is still not yet finalized and is expected to be released in the spring. Critics lashed out at the idea, saying that the Biden administration is bending to U.S. automakers, and he's doing that if the new rule goes into effect. President Biden's likely Republican opponent in November, former President Donald Trump, has railed against EVs. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Top leaders in Northern California have issued a severe storm watch for the region. At least one person was killed and several others were wounded in a shooting at a Southwest Indianapolis Waffle House restaurant early this morning. Authorities say the situation started as a fight around 12:30 a.m. both inside and outside the restaurant near Southern Avenue. The altercation started between two groups and escalated to gunfire. Several people were taken to local hospitals where one woman died. Police say they are reviewing surveillance videos from the restaurant. Police are trying to determine whether any of those who were hurt fired any of the gunshots. The Victoria County Courthouse has canceled tomorrow's jury duty. If you're someone summoned for the 8:30 a.m. trial, you don't need to appear. The court will not reschedule this date. 5 people have filed to run for City Council in Victoria. Residents can run for any of the 4 regular City Council seats in District 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 candidates have filed. Rafael de la Garza III is seeking re-election in District 1. Jan Scott seeking re-election in District 4. Attorney Stephen Kidder has filed to run in District 2. Business owner April Butler and UHV Administrator Woodrow Wilson Wagner II have filed to run in District 3. Election Day is Saturday, May 4th. Residents in Rancho Palos Verdes, California are gearing up for more severe weather. Rain is expected to last on and off through Wednesday in the area. Rainfall is expected to reach up to 6 inches in some parts of the state. The storm hit Southern California earlier this month, causing mudslides and flash flooding in many parts of the region. Emergency crews are urging people living in low-lying areas to start preparing now. Turning now to Northern California, top leaders have issued a severe storm watch for the region. The strongest winds are expected through this morning. Wind gusts are expected to reach up to 45 miles per hour in some areas, and the National Weather Service says a wind advisory is in effect until early Tuesday morning. A flood watch went into effect across the valley on Sunday afternoon and will continue until Wednesday morning. The Storm Prediction Center says there's also risk for tornadoes in the region. Rural Texans and internet providers worry that the federal government's broadband expansion plan will have a painfully slow rollout. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, we had some of the clearest skies I've seen overnight recently, and look at that beautiful sunrise. Wow.
Yes, you're absolutely right, there. Look at that beautiful sunrise out there this morning. But with that nice, pretty sunrise, very chilly. So if you're gonna go look at that sunrise, get a jacket because it's quite chilly out there this morning. Also a little bit humid with about 93% humidity, but not expecting any fog out there this morning, but we could maybe tonight. Taking a little look at your weather headlines. Patchy fog developing overnight tonight, ending by around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. But spring-like weather returns this week with an 80 in the forecast and also a couple breezy days coming our way as well. But like I said, take a look at your visibility for tonight. Maybe around after 10 p.m. and midnight, the fog will start forming, and it could get a little thick in some areas where we could see maybe a half-mile visibility before it starts to clear and lift by around 10 to 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. But then look at your wind gusts, because today's the first day that the southerly wind returns to our area, which is going to bring all that warm and humid air back on top of us for the rest of this week. Every day this week, you're going to be in that southerly wind, keeping us nice and warm up into the 80s by Thursday until we get another cool front, dropping us just a couple degrees, but then we'll warm it right back to the 80s next week yet again.
All right, thank you, Parker. I just looked up, the first day of spring is just a month away.
Just a month away, but it really feels like it's here now.
All right, well, we're excited for spring and we're excited for Monday. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your week and follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join us tonight at 5, 6, and 10.